words of Maya Angelou, when you learn, teach, and when you get, give. Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones, and being an educator at heart, I'm dedicated to sharing conversations that inform and enlighten in the hopes that you learn something you may not have known. And remember, in the words of Maya Angelou, when you learn, teach, and when you get, give. We have an exciting show today. Make sure you like and share the page. We want to share this because we want everybody to get this information that we're going to be sharing today. So first, I want to start off by giving a big thank you to Rudy Breedy. He is the host of Rudy's Room, and he is the mastermind of this special edition of Conversations with Verdel Jones. So I definitely want to thank him for helping me putting this together. So we are excited about the show today. I also want to give a shout out to Bobby Lassara and the Strong Island team. He is awesome. I love Strong Island Television, and we're doing great things here. So I definitely want to give Bobby a shout out. So this week, let's see, I was off this week. I had a whole week off, and it really didn't even feel like a whole week off because it's like Thursday already. But one of the things that I was dedicated to doing this week is cleaning my closet. We got our closets renovated. We got our bedroom renovated, I don't know, maybe about 2 years ago. And I had to get a new closet. But that was a good thing, but I did not do anything with it. I did not organize it or anything. I just threw everything in it. So this week was dedicated to that. So as I was leaving the office on Friday, actually two of the women in the office, I was telling them what I was planning to do, and they said, have you seen Tidying Up with Marie Kondo? And I'm like, no, I've never seen that show before. It's on Netflix. So I did a marathon, and I watched the show, and let me tell you, my drawers are in perfect condition. I mean, I have everything organized. She's really like an inspiration. And I got my husband, Jeremiah, on board. He's not watched one episode, but I shared a couple of things with him. And now this weekend, that's what he's going to be doing. Tidying up that sock drawer, tidying up his t-shirt drawer. So we're excited. I mean, it looks good. My mom and dad came over today, and I had to show them. I was so excited to show them all of my drawers. So anyway, my closet looks beautiful, so I'm excited. So make sure you check that out because it really is. It's an inspiration, and it's really a great show to watch. So that's one thing I did this week. So the week is, like I said, it's been really, really busy. Before I go on with what else I've been up to, I just want to let everyone know that we are having our Write, Rhyme, and Recite Collective, celebrating young poets and highlighting authors. We are doing it again this year. Last year, we awarded $3,250 to 3 students in our Poetry Slam scholarship. So I want to make sure that everybody knows on June 8th, at the African American Museum in Hempstead. We are doing it again. If you want more information, if you have a student that's graduating this year and is going to college in the fall, make sure that you let them know about this information. They can go to deliteach.com, DELITEACH.com for more information. The scholarship is on there as well, so they can check that out. So we also this week has been really busy. So we also had some other news in the Jones family. Maya, our daughter, was on New York Fox 5. She had a little piece on millennials and their journey it was really about her journey to finding her career path, and also her new website that she launched called Shades of Long Island. But they were really concentrating on millennials and the thought of whether or not they could afford a home. So she was on New York Fox 5. You can search it and just look up young people in home ownership, and you can find the segment. She did an awesome job. So speaking of buying your own home and millennials and finances, we're going to have a guest on today, Najee Simmons, and he's a financial advisor, and he's going to be on the show in studio. We're going to talk to him in a few minutes, and maybe he can kind of answer that question about our young folks looking for and buying a home in the future. We also had Cheryl Cruz. She is a filmmaker. She's a producer. We filmed a music video in our house yesterday. So And I'm headed to DC tomorrow to hang out with my girlfriends. They love cooking, so we have somebody here who's going to be talking about cooking. I don't like cooking. I can, but I don't like it. So we're going to have Tanika Whitaker of Tanika's Eats here. And we're also going to talk to a matchmaker, Jasmine V. Turner of Black Match Made. And we know the way to a man's stomach is to his heart is through the stomach. So we're excited for Tanika to share that. And we're also excited to speak with Jasmine to tell us about how to find love and keep it. So we got a lot going on. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to welcome our first guest to Conversations with Verdel Jones.
From sex cookies to vegetable soap.
Listen, we gotta keep this
cover all the
right.
marks, okay.
Well
Gotcha.
diversified.
Okay, and then you have donuts or donut.
Oh yeah,
what?
donut holes. Drop
Donut what?
donut holes.
Like a garden tool hoe?
Like a hole. Like a hoe.
Like that hoe over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Drop the L.
Okay.
Yes.
What kind of hose you got, real
Yes.
quick?
We got drunken holes, we got high holes, we got the regular holes, and the old holes.
No. What's a drunken hoe?
My ex.
Oh. Hi, Mrs. Cyclone. Let's wait to Mrs. Cyclone.
Yay!
Inspired by aerobic classes and a dream, Body by Tamika has helped hundreds of women reach their fitness goals. One size doesn't fit all, and neither should your fitness experience. Body by Tamika is about creating an environment where women can come together to work out, meet new friends, and get inspired. Whether you desire to lose weight, tone up, or prepare for a mommy makeover, Body by Tamika is here to help. Body by Tamika is considerate to female weight loss challenges resulting from pregnancy and or life changes that can be extremely resistant to diet and exercise. For stubborn problem areas, Body by Tamika offers non-invasive aesthetic procedures such as laser lipo and wood slimming body contouring. Book your free consultation today to see for yourself.
Are you a tie lover? You love the diversity in ties because they come in different colors, fabrics, patterns, etc. Get access to a wide variety of neckties. Buy from or trade with other tie lovers. Don't wear ties anymore? You have more ties than you know what to do with? Want to turn all those ties into real money? Do you just need a tie? You just need a tie for a special occasion. Now you can buy a tie today and sell it tomorrow. The Necktie Exchange, the online retailer where you buy, sell, and trade neckties. Register today.
Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you see, we have our first guest here, Najee Simmons, financial advisor. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We are, so, you know, we talked before you came on the show a little bit about what you do and all that. And one of the things that, you know, I realized as I was talking to you that money stresses me out. Like, true story. Like, the thought of money gets me like really anxious.
Sure.
So as opposed to like dealing with it, I kind of push it to the side and
Right.
then deal with it when I have to.
Sure.
So, you know, talking about money, I'm a little bit, you know, anxious, but I know that after our conversation made me feel a little bit better.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit how you got into the financial business.
Well, it really started not with me, but with my parents, watching them as I grew up. They both made decent money. Neither of them were millionaires or
Right.
anything like that. But like you mentioned, there was some tension around it. There was some stress around it. And as a kid who didn't see the bills that were going in and coming out, didn't know what was in the checkbook, I still sensed it.
Yeah.
And that was a feeling and anxiety that I didn't want to be in my life. And I thought I could make a career out of helping people make sure that it wasn't in theirs.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this?
So I've been at Northwestern Mutual as a financial advisor for about a year.
Okay.
Before that, I was in local government looking for a connection to this industry, and
okay.
thank God a friend had one, and the rest is history.
Oh, that's great. So you enjoy working. You have to enjoy working with money, or it's probably a combination, I would think, of money and people, because you have to like people and work with different people, I would think.
Sure.
Right? Yeah.
You definitely have to have a good sense for people.
Yeah.
And I like seeing people succeed.
Yeah.
And success is hard to come by when your financial strategy isn't right.
That's right, exactly. And a lot of people, I don't think they strategize. So one of the things we had talked about, you had mentioned something about protecting your income.
Sure.
And the thing is, you make money from income, money coming in.
Right.
But you kind of segued in our conversation. You were talking about protecting your money. What does that mean, and what should people know about protecting their money?
Right.
Yeah.
So a person's most valuable asset, 99% of the time, is his or her ability to earn an income.
Okay.
So of course we want to buy real estate, invest in the stock market, but our ability to do all those things depends on our ability to earn money to do them in the first place.
Right.
So what happens if you get sick or hurt and can't work for an extended period of time? This is really exacerbated when you're working in a specialty that you've been in for a long time, and all of a sudden the paychecks stop coming in.
Yeah.
You got to sell the real estate. You got to sell the stocks and bonds. You've got to
Sell those
liquidate
assets, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 401k.
Right.
And by the time you get started again, you're way behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So with disability insurance, which is crucial, we protect our ability to earn an income if we get sick or hurt and can't work and don't have a multi-million-dollar trust we can tap into to start paying our bills.
Exactly.
We're going to need some kind of help to make sure that we still have the opportunity to invest for the luxury of our futures.
So for young people, one of the things I had mentioned at the top of the show was our daughter was interviewed by New York Fox 5, and they were talking about millennials and their ability to purchase a home.
Yeah.
So a lot of millennials don't see that in their future.
Sure.
So how can a young person starting off with their career, what are some steps, or what are some things you could tell them to do to get started?
I think a major reason millennials have trouble imagining themselves as homeowners is because they see all of their money going towards student loan debt.
Exactly.
And they're thinking, how am I ever going to save up a down payment or be able to pay a mortgage when I've got this scary thing looming here?
Exactly.
I would tell anybody who maybe isn't at that stage yet, try to go to school for free or pay as little as possible for it. Make a game out of it.
Yeah.
So this is America, nothing's free, but you don't have to be the one that's paying for it. So
the strategy really comes ahead of time. But say if that's not the case, so you have someone who they have a job, they're paying student debt, but they want to buy a home. What can they do to start planning for that?
One, hustle. Honestly, at the end of the day, if you look at the numbers and you see I've got to pay these bills and there's no extra, you've got to make more money. You've got to sacrifice a little bit of the social life to build up that down payment, to build that up to make sure you have something to invest for your future in a home. The other thing I would say is pay down student debt aggressively so that you free up that income. My wife and I got married in October of 16.
Okay.
Since then, we've paid off about $60,000 of debt, and neither of us made $1 million.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's about having a plan.
Wow. Well, okay, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we are going to have on a matchmaker, and she's going to be talking about finding a mate and love and all of that. And one of my questions is, when it comes to finding a mate, you've been married for 2 years, right? Almost 3, right? What should people think about when they're planning to get married? And should you ask people for their credit score before you get married?
I think that's fair game. I absolutely think it's fair game, not because a credit score will tell you what kind of person he or she is, but it tells you thus far what their spending habits have been like, and that's definitely going to affect your marriage.
Right.
So it's not the first date, you know, but when you see it's getting pretty serious,
Yeah.
and discussions about marriage are on the table, I think it's fair game to, you know, what's the credit score? How much debt do you have? Do you plan to
Right.
stay in this career that you're in now, or is there something else you want to do that might earn more money?
money, right,
Because you
right.
have these expectations you're building. Oh, he's not going to be doing that forever. Well, he never said he,
never-
didn't want, he didn't want to do that forever.
Right. So you and
Yeah.
your wife, you had the same kind of mindset. If you were able to pay that much debt off in that
Yeah.
short amount of time, I think there needs to be some compatibility as far as that's
Yeah,
concerned too.
absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what about older people?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, someone in midlife, let's
Mm-hmm.
say. How can they get ahead? Like you said, your parents, they made a decent income.
Yeah.
I make a decent income. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But it's the uncertainty of retirement. Maybe will I be able to live off my retirement, whatever that
Yeah.
might be? What would you tell older people to do to kind of get themselves going as far as that's concerned? If they've waited.
Sure. I would say decide what kind of lifestyle it's suitable for you to live, and work backwards from there.
Okay.
And see if it's possible. I'm going to be frank because I don't think there's any benefit in me sugarcoating things or lying to people. You've got to be realistic. You have to establish what the best possible scenario for you is in the future and work towards that. Because the bottom line is, yes, less investing earlier is better than more in big amounts later trying to play catch up.
Right. Exactly.
But that doesn't mean it's hopeless. In that situation, I think you should get with the financial advisor, somebody like myself,
Exactly.
and we'll talk it out, see what the options are.
See
There are
what's
different,
going on.
There are different vehicles that can, guarantee a specified income for a period of time, and that may be what you need.
Right. And I think that's what people struggle with. I share with you, I'm an educator, so I have
Yeah.
a pension and I have
Yeah.
a 457. My husband, he works, he has a 401k.
Yeah.
And, so there's money in there, but it's just in there. We
Uh-huh.
really don't know, is this going to work for us in the long term or after
Yeah.
we retire? And we don't sit with anybody,
Sure.
to
Yeah.
kind of go over that. So I think everybody, it's important to have a financial person.
Yeah.
But I think you have to be ready to face it.
Absolutely.
You
You
know?
can't do anything for people that aren't willing to face it.
Right.
No, you can't.
So let's go back to the millennials. What is something that they can invest in? Like and just really overall, what are some good investments that people can take a look at? So we know that income is the best way to bring in that money, but what are some investments people can look at from any age, really?
Yes, I would say real estate is something that you want to get into if
Is
at
it?
all possible. You also do want to expose yourself to the market. You absolutely need to. So saving
Yeah.
money, putting it under the bed, hiding it in a cookie jar, putting it in a savings account in the bank isn't going to do much for you because of inflation. I would say you need to be exposing your money in the stock market when it's appropriate. Of course, if you're young, that money is better spent paying for college in real time if you can.
Right.
Otherwise, real estate's tremendous.
Now, why do you say real estate? I'm interested. in
Yeah,
that.
because it's always going to have value, in my opinion, because one thing they're not making more of is land. Okay, so once you control a piece of land, you also own the equity that it accrues over time as the
Right.
value of land increases.
Right. See, in with the real estate bubble,
Yeah.
that did happen. A lot
Yeah,
of people
sure.
invested in real estate, and then they had to get out for whatever reason. But the people who really benefited from that bubble
Yeah.
were the ones that were ready.
Yeah, and the people that were able to hold on,
invest.
the people that had cash on hand to buy up real estate, understanding
Exactly.
that if history repeats itself, which it's always done thus far, the market was
yes,
going to go back up.
Absolutely. What's the biggest piece of advice you can get anybody who's really looking to, besides seeking your services,
Yeah, sure.
the best advice that you can share with individuals about, building a future for themselves? And also, one of the things too is that word wealth.
Sure.
What does that really mean? Does it mean different things to different people, or is it the same?
I think it means
know?
different things to different people. Truly, for me, wealth is Wealth is the sense of peace in your household that comes with being financially sound.
Okay, okay.
That comes with it's the confidence that comes with knowing that your financial business is taken
Right.
care of. So it's not a dollar amount,
Yeah.
but it's a state of being you attain
That's
after handling your business,
Right,
and
right.
developing a discipline about it.
it's like happiness. You know, happiness
Yes.
is defined how you kind of defined it.
Yeah.
But with wealth, you just have to make sure that your bills are paid. Like I remember we were in our conversation also we were
Yeah.
talking about debt and credit and all of
Sure.
that. Getting down debt. You said you were able to decrease your debt by 60,000.
Yeah.
How can someone decrease their debt? What are strategies that you can kind of recommend
the
for
key
that?
to that was hustling and having a budget. So you've got to sacrifice a little bit of pride because, I wasn't afraid to do after hours part-time at TJ Maxx, stocking the shelves
Right.
and cleaning the store.
Right.
I wasn't afraid to do that. My wife wasn't afraid to work 12-hour days.
Right.
And still isn't. My wife is still working right now.
Okay.
So you can't be afraid of hard work. There's
Do it
no
now while you can.
substitute for it while you're young and you can
Right.
recover from it. There's no substitute for that. Also, we had a budget. So we have a zero-based budget, meaning
Oh.
we understand where every dollar is going.
Right.
Even dollars spent toward recreation, marked out recreation. So we don't go above that amount.
Budgets. I don't.
Yeah.
That's a hard word for me. My
Sure.
friends tease me. I'm like budget.
Yeah.
I have a budget, but my budget is paying bills. That's my budget.
Sure.
I pay this, and this, and then it's very I don't know. It's just something that my parents were very good at it, but
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. It's a struggle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's really
hear
a
you.
struggle.
Well, try not to think of it as a budget if that word is like restrictive to you.
Yeah,
Think
right.
of it as a plan. Just use the word planned in your mind. All it is a plan.
Right.
Because you work hard, you earn your money, and you deserve a plan.
That's right. So it was a great conversation we had.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure that people know where to find you. Like if they
Sure.
want your services, how can they contact you?
Sure. So on Instagram, Najee Simmons, no space, NajeeSimmons. Facebook, first name Najee, Najee, last name Simmons, Simmons. Or call me at the office, 516-454-5277. Look forward to hearing from you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
a guest on Conversations with Verdel Jones. So nice meeting you in person.
Likewise.
We're going to take a quick commercial, and when we come back, we're going to have our next guest.
The sun is getting warmer, but when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border. But when we're floating up like helium, Hey.
Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. We had an excellent conversation with Najee talking about finances. As I mentioned in our conversation, finances get me a little anxious. When I talk finances, I immediately, break out into a rash. But I'm hoping that, you got a lot of information. I know you did get a lot of information, talking about finances and what you need to do, no matter what age you're at. It's never too early to start, and it's never too late to start. I think we have our guests calling in Skype. So we are going to, she'll be here momentarily. It's Jasmine V. Turner. She's an entrepreneur, and she's the founder and owner of Black Match Made. So we're excited to talk to her. Just getting back to a little bit about my week. This week I mentioned that I was going to, or actually I'm going tomorrow to DC to hang out with my girlfriends. Every once in a while we get together, we go somewhere. We've been to Chicago probably like 4 times. We went to New Orleans, we've been to Boston, we've been to Savannah. And this year we are going to DC. One of my friends lives in DC. Shout out to Ellen and Tina. Oh, she lives in the DC area. And Tina lives in Atlanta. But we are going to hang out for a girls' weekend. A lot of food and a lot of fun, a lot of libations as well. So we're excited about that. But I was talking, I wanted to bring that up because we were talking about food. And one of the things that they both love to cook, and they're really, really good at it. It's not that I'm bad at it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. So that's why I'm so excited we have Tanika to come here to talk about that. So now we have our next guest coming up. All right, we are ready to go. So again, we have Jasmine Turner. She is the founder and the owner of Black Match Made. We are so excited. Hey, Jasmine, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being a guest on Conversations with Verdel Jones.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Verdel. I was really looking forward to coming on the show this week. It's February, which is the month of love. I am excited to talk about love tonight.
Oh, awesome. And I think your handle is Jazz Loves Love.
Yeah, Jazz Loves Love on Instagram as well as Facebook.
Right. So, I mean, you have a passion for love and helping people find love. So I am so excited to talk about that. I've been married for 30 years, and I've been with my husband for 35 years. We're over 35 years. We were high school sweethearts. So, yeah. So
congratulations. That doesn't happen too often anymore. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. So I really haven't been in the dating scene at all because we met in high school.
Yeah.
So, but I know, and I have a lot of friends and a lot of, women that I know struggle with finding, and I have, not even friends, I have, younger people that I know are struggling. I'm not going to mention any names that are struggling to find someone. So, so tell us why you have this love for love and helping people find the man or woman of their dreams. Oh, you froze up there. We're going to get Jasmine back. We're talking about love. When you talk about love...
Yeah, can you guys hear me? I can still hear you.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so as I was saying, lots have changed about dating in the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. People just don't meet how they used to meet anymore. In fact, online dating has become one of the most common places for people to meet their spouse. Mm-hmm. So tons have changed, and a lot of people are trying to figure out how to navigate this new dating world, and that's where I come in as a matchmaker and dating coach. I started my company because I'm first passionate about the community, and I believe that family is the foundation of any society and any community. Absolutely. However, I was seeing all of these amazing single people around me that were having such a hard time finding people they're compatible with. Mm-hmm. So I worked in the recruiting industry prior to becoming a matchmaker, and I thought, why not just use my experience as a recruiter for corporations and schools to actually recruit for someone who's looking for love? Right. I tried it out. I started out with events, and then from there went straight to matchmaking, and it has been a crazy ride ever since.
That is so awesome. You know, I used to watch this show. I mean, it was on years ago, maybe like on Bravo, and there was a matchmaker on there. I don't remember her name.
Patty. You're
Pat,
talking about
yes,
Patty
yeah.
from Millionaire Matchmaker.
Right, exactly. And it was fascinating what she actually did and the types of people that she kind of connected with, connected together. So with what you do, I'm interested to know, you work with Black professionals, and why is it so difficult for Black professionals specifically to find a mate or a committed relationship?
Yeah, so I specialize with African American single professionals, but I work with people of all races.
Okay.
And sometimes I have clients that might be looking to meet someone that's Black that may not be
Okay.
Black, or it could be a Black person that's interested in dating all races, not just African American.
Okay.
I think the biggest challenge for dating in our community is, the unfortunate reality that 2/3 of Black people weren't raised in two-parent households, right? So the vast majority of us are learning about dating as we go along,
Right.
versus seeing what a healthy, loving relationship looks like in front of us. And so as a result of that, we then, don't really know how to create something that you've never seen.
Right.
And that's where matchmaking comes in, because a lot of people don't even know how to identify who they're compatible with, right? You see a lot of people that are dating based on chemistry alone, and let's be honest, chemistry feels good,
Right.
but chemistry doesn't mean compatibility.
Absolutely.
Chemistry doesn't mean long-term, and that's how you have people that can be crazy in love for 5 years and absolutely hate each other the next year. So I help people understand how to match with someone they're compatible with, and how to identify those areas of compatibility.
Right. I love that you said that. It is the compatibility, because I have conversations with, like I said, I'm not going to mention any names, but I have conversations about the thing you just mentioned, because sometimes there is that chemistry there and you like a person and you think that you might have things in common, but you like the same things. But it's the chemistry. We were talking to our financial, Najee, a financial advisor, and him and his wife were on the same page with finances. So how do you, like, what is your process when you want to match two people up? What is the process? Do they have to go through a screening? Is there a questionnaire? Like, what are the things that you look for
There's
to match?
definitely a screening.
Okay.
I work with my clients. I start off working with my clients. I do have some people that help me with the recruiting process.
Okay.
But it's a boutique matchmaking service where every client is working with me in some way.
Right.
So before we even move forward, I'm making sure that we're even on the same page, because here's the reality. I'm not going to be the best matchmaker for everyone, even if you're a Black person.
Right.
We got to make sure that our personalities connect and that we're on the same page in regards to who I'm going to introduce you to. So when it comes down to compatibility, we use what science has found. Science has found that two people who share the same morals, values, life goals, and that there's some level of physical attraction, they're more likely to last in a long-term relationship than two people who don't have those areas in common. So speaking of the person you were just mentioning, where the partner, they don't share the same values when it comes down to finances. For some couples, that could mean like they're not compatible, and it might bring some really difficult times in their relationship that they can't get over.
Right.
So you want to make sure you're asking those questions up front. If finances are important to you. Other areas like religion, politics, gender roles, all of those areas, depending on the person, could be really important. So you want to have someone that either shares those same values or is at least open to your approach.
So you've been matchmaking for how long have you been doing this? Because I want to hear about some success stories. You know.
So I started my company and was mostly doing events with.
Yep. So. Yep, I'm sure you probably hear us, but so we were talking about how you how you find that love of your life and the compatibility, and you were speaking about how somebody can go about doing that. And one of the questions that I also have for you is, how do you know when it's the right one? How do you know when it's the moment to make that leap of faith with someone? She's still frozen. You could probably hear me, but that's all right. So I didn't want to mention any names in reference to who I was speaking of, in reference to love and finding a mate. But I think it's really difficult for younger
Verdel, I
people.
have no idea.
That's all right. I think it's difficult for younger people to find a relationship. I don't know if it's because of social media or it's because they don't meet like they used to meet. But I know there are some challenges with young people as well trying to find a mate. And I think services like matchmaking instead of online dating might be something that people take a look at and try out, because it's really a struggle. And then having the same values, I think, is another thing. So Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. We'll definitely have you back. We have some technical difficulties, but I want people to know where to reach out to
I
you.
didn't know what's going on. It's so interesting. I never really had this connection issue, so I apologize. I was looking forward to talking to your viewers, and I'll definitely have to come back.
You definitely have to come back. But in the meantime, I want people to know where they can reach you. We have some information that we'll put up so they can contact you if they're looking for love, and not only looking for love, but looking to keep love as well. So we'll show.
Absolutely. Well, I actually have a free training video for women who are looking to just revamp their approach to dating and get better results. And you can find that video at 5stepstomrright.com.
Okay.
That's the number 5stepstomrright.com.
Okay, great. Well, again, thank you so much for being guests on Conversations with Verdel Jones. We will definitely have you back. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to be cooking right here in the studio.
Everybody get up when you're feeling down. Everybody get up, turn your life around.
When you trust yourself, you have the power to make up your life. Studio 1031 is an environment where excellence is always expected. We work with all types of people from all walks of life. We give deserving women something that they wouldn't give themselves.
Everybody get up.
Come join this makeup movement. When you're feeling down, turn your life around. Make up your life.
I know it's gonna be alright.
Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you see, I have my next guest here, Tanika Whitaker.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Tanika's Eats
Incorporated.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We have a demonstration here. This is the first time Conversations with Verdel Jones has done a cooking demonstration. So you are my first, and I am very excited. So let's get started. What are we cooking today?
So today we're going to do one of my favorite dishes, which is chicken fried rice.
Oh,
it's
okay.
simple, it's nutritious, it's fast, perfectly for maybe a working parent that's worked 10-hour day and have to make a delicious meal for their family really quickly.
Exactly.
It's easy.
All right, so let's get started. And while you're whipping that up, I want to find out how you got started cooking.
Absolutely. Well, when I started basically just from a friend of mine actually suggesting that I should sell my food because I used to always give food away to people that I worked with.
And this is vegetable oil?
That is vegetable oil.
Okay.
And I just want to lightly coat the pan. I probably poured a little too much, but
it's
we'll
all right.
make it work. So from that, I just basically started selling plates. I have some white rice here.
Okay.
Ooh, sorry.
All right.
I started selling some plates at my job.
Okay.
And at both jobs, actually, I worked 2 full-time jobs, and it just became such a big thing that I basically started up my social media. Facebook was one of the first social media sites that I started everything on, promoting myself, getting the word out, putting up pictures.
Okay.
And then people started contacting me to do their actual events. So it worked out wonderful.
So this is just
White
cooked
rice.
White
Cooked
rice.
white rice.
So you have to make sure that you cook the white rice before that.
Yes.
Right?
And it should be cold when you put it in the skillet.
Cold when you put it in the skillet.
Correct.
So, I'm not a big cook.
Okay.
Right? I can cook, but I don't like to cook.
No problem.
And my mother would cook every single day. She still does for my dad. And it's just her and my dad. She cooks every day. And I used to feel guilty about that, like, oh, I don't cook like my mother every day. Like the kids had chicken. I mean, I wouldn't get the McDonald's chicken nuggets all the time, but I would do like the chicken nuggets and corn or whatever.
Right.
And then I said, I can't feel guilty about this.
Right.
And I just have to know that I'm not her. and keep it going. So what's this in here? What's
so I
that
just
you
put
put
in
there?
some green scallions. They're actually chopped already. I have some frozen vegetables, succotash or mixed vegetables. I have some chicken cutlet. I have some soy sauce, some water, and some egg.
Okay.
So
the scallions you would have to cut ahead of time too.
Yes, of course.
So what I do now is, because I never know what to cook.
Okay.
So we were eating out a lot, which is it's expensive and it's not good for you. So one of the things I started doing was Blue Apron and Hello Fresh.
Okay.
Because like I said, I can cook, but I just don't really like to, because I hate that question, like when I'm on my way home, what's for dinner?
What's for dinner? And you got a hubby, so you got to make sure you have dinner.
Right,
and you got a family.
and I have my kids back too.
Exactly.
So I have to make sure that people eat.
Right.
So what are some tips that you can give working moms and dads to make quick, affordable meals?
I would say, honestly, in my opinion, what I would do is go ahead and I would actually prep over the weekend.
Okay. That's a good idea. Yep.
And pre-make some meals and maybe freeze them or store them in such like containers or airtight, where they can stay fresh. That makes it easier. But if you're going to do something that's fresh every single day, just do something quick and easy. I guess chicken dishes, or even if they're a vegetarian or a vegan, there's different vegetables and things you can accommodate with.
Okay, now what's this?
This, I put the mixed frozen vegetables in, and this right here is actually a fried rice seasoning that I use as well.
Oh, I didn't even know there was fried rice seasoning.
Yes, yes. There's a little something for everything.
What's in the fried rice seasoning? Like what kind of
I would
spices
say there's a
in
little.
there?
It's probably a little soy, some garlic.
Okay.
Ginger.
Okay.
A little onion powder, probably, most likely. I didn't really read the label, but
right,
I've used it before, and it's amazing.
Right? And what are some things that you love to cook?
I love to cook everything.
Yeah,
I love to eat. Look at me, I'm juicy. I like to eat. But honestly, one of my favorite dishes I could say is my baked mac and cheese.
Okay.
Baked ziti, that's quick too.
Baked ziti
I
is
finesse
quick.
that pretty
yes.
fast.
Baked ziti is very
Yes,
quick. Yeah.
honey, yes. And it
it's
lasts
good.
for a few days.
And exactly.
Spaghetti, that
Right.
lasts for a few days. Put some ground turkey in it. If you don't eat beef, because I know you don't eat beef.
I don't eat beef.
I
But
got
let
you.
me ask you something about that. Like, so I have spaghetti. I make a bunch of spaghetti.
Right.
How can I change? Because I'm not a big leftover.
Okay, me
person.
neither.
So how do you jazz up your
up
meals?
spaghetti.
Yeah, how do you
Or jazz up my meal.
Yeah, jazz up a meal. Like you have this rice and you're making fried rice.
Right.
I have rice all the time. We
Right.
have rice in our house all the time.
Okay.
How can I reconstitute it, I guess you should say?
Well, I mean, you can add veggies. You can add a meat to it. You could actually maybe you can make you can add maybe a sauce to it as well.
Okay.
For rice per se, or either any dish, if I'm not a leftover person either, so
Yeah.
maybe just revamp it by adding something fresh or new.
Okay.
I'm actually putting the scrambled egg in right now as we speak.
How many scrambled eggs
This
is
was
that?
actually 2.
Okay.
I was gonna put in 3, but I'm not too sure how you
So
guys feel
you're-
about the fried egg
So
or scrambled egg.
you move that over to the side. So this could be a one pot.
Yeah, you can
dish.
you can make it work. Listen,
Okay,
Some
okay.
people, hey,
Okay.
you do what you gotta do.
All right. Have
And
you-
it condenses all the flavor.
Right,
You know?
exactly. So I know you cater.
Yes.
You are all over the place.
I am.
I see you on social media all the time. You do events and
Yes.
all of that. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Have you ever cooked something and somebody,
It
that
wasn't
was
to their
at the
liking?
event, right? And they said, "I didn't really like that." And how did you handle it?
I did. One woman out of 4 years of being in business, she said, she's like, "Oh, I had the crab mac. Oh, it just didn't really, it didn't really taste too good." And I said, "You know what? It ain't for everybody.
Right.
You can't please everybody's palate." And I apologized to her. I said, "Did you want something else?
Right.
Did you want your money back? What can I do to accommodate you?"
Right.
And then she said, basically she said, "No, it's fine," or whatever the case is. She was like, "I just didn't like it." But however, I handled it that way. I did offer her a refund.
Right.
I don't like anyone to be unpleased with my
unhappy.
services
Right.
or my food.
Right.
And I always encourage review.
So now the chicken that was
That was
already
chicken
cooked.
cutlet. That was
and
cooked already.
How did you cook the chicken cutlet?
I actually just placed it in a skillet.
Placed it in a skillet,
I lightly seasoned it, very
Okay.
lightly, and then I
is-
brought it here.
this
and
is-
this is
looks
just about
delicious.
done. Just about complete.
So how can people? I can't wait to eat this. How can people reach out to you? Because like I said, you do parties, you
Yes.
do fashion shows, you do all kinds of
Everything.
things. How can people reach out to you?
Well, they can reach out to me on Instagram at Tanikas__eats. And on Facebook, I'm Tanika's Eats Incorporated. My website is TanikasEatsCatering.com. And they can reach out to me via Contact Us. And I will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. I'm very attentive. And shoot me a call, 516-669-6356. I'll be glad to hear from you.
Good.
Your
And-
event next.
And you also have some drinks. We're going to do that after.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to take a quick
Yes.
commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap it up.
All right, awesome.
Me llaman Dan Pablo y hace más de 20 años me enamoré de una colombiana. Viajé a su país y conocí un estilo de café muy distinto, muy especial. Ahora tostamos cafés excelentes, con alturas y microclimas diferentes, resultado en una taza muy compleja y muy rica, un sabor nuevo en el mundo. Fue un éxito. And I even got to keep the girl.
Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you see, we are eating some of this delicious
Thank you.
chicken fried rice. And look who decided to join us to have a little bite too. Remember I said I didn't like to cook? Well, he said, you know, I'm going to get me something to eat right now.
You know, it's an opportunity to get my meal in for the night.
This is delicious.
Thank you
oh
so
my
much,
goodness.
It was smelling all crazy in
Oh,
the
my
studio, so
goodness.
you know I had to come over here and get
We need smell-o-vision here, you know?
Smell-o-vision. Smell-o-vision. I like that. Hint, hint, Bobby. Smell-o-vision.
I want to thank all of my guests that I had today. We had a really awesome show. We started off with Najee Simmons. He's a financial advisor. I mean, it was just a great conversation. I hope you got something out of it. Remember, it's never too early and it's never too late to start yourself on your financial path, on your way to success. We also had Jasmine Turner. She is the matchmaker. You know, it's really hard to find love.
I'm single, honey. Okay.
So, all right. So it's really hard to find
It
love.
is.
She had some good advice. Things have certainly changed as far as that's concerned. So, you know, it was great talking to her. You can find out information about her. And then we have the lovely Tanika
Thank you.
here, who really whipped up a quick meal for us. So it's quick, it's affordable,
It's delicious.
and it's something that a busy parent can do. So we really like it. Let's have some of those drinks.
So
What's
I
in
also
it?
have a Jack of all trades. This is my signature drink. I also have
Okay.
bartending experience. Hint, hint. So this
You
Jack of-
bartend too?
Yes, Mama.
Oh, okay.
I do it all. Anything you can ask, I can do it.
Eat and drink.
Okay. Hello. You better tell them. They better find out, honey. Here you go, my dear. You can wash that down.
All right.
I don't give you too much,
Thank
mate.
you.
Tipsy, a little tipsy.
Thank you
Jack of
so
all
much.
trades.
Let me taste some of this. That's
Nice.
good.
I like that.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones, and we will see you next time.
Cheers.
Mwah.
Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Rudy. Love y'all.
Thank you, Rudy. Look at Bobby.